Do you want to win? Because I want to win. And the pre-release for OP04 is getting closer and closer, and yeah, we need a list. Hello everyone and welcome to Anything Geek. My name is Zero and I have a plan to win my OP04 pre-release. And if you've participated in any pre-release for the One Piece card game to date, you know that the only thing you have control over is the leader. The cards you pull, you don't know if you're gonna get them, so blockers, 2000 counters, they are very important. You should include them in your deck no matter what, but you don't know if you're gonna have them. Yes, you open the packs, you're gonna see them, you're gonna be like,
yeah, great, I can perform well.
But what happens when you open your packs and you get nothing? That's what happens to me both times that I went to a pre-release, and so I rely more on the leaders than I rely on the cards that I pull. Maybe that's why I'm losing so much. But anyway, this video is actually a follow-up video on the one that I made previously, where I basically reviewed all the leader and tell you if they are any good to play in the pre-release. So make sure to go watch that video if you haven't already. And for this one, we're just gonna focus on OP04 leader that you might pull and you might play with during the pre-release. And we're gonna have 6 new leaders for this set, all being bicolor leaders, some obviously more potent than others. And let's start with the first one, Red Blue Vivi. 5000 power, 5 life, and that's because she has an effect where she cannot attack. And the rest of her effect is activate main once per turn for 2 downs, draw a card and give one of your character rush during this turn. I think there's a place for her to be played in a pre-release, because if you got the blockers and the counter, so that's conditional, that's depending on what you pull during the pre-release, you might be able to make it work. Because at the end of the day, you can, for 2 down, make any character rush your opponents. That's kind of big. You're gonna be in a pre-release, there's gonna be tons of colors, and this is not linked to a specific color, okay? It's not just red and blue because you're in a pre-release. So this might be very interesting, but you need the defensive option. You need the counter, you need the blocker. You need to turtle with Vivi. Since she cannot attack, that's a good chunk of your damage that you won't be able to deal to your opponents. So situational leader, but might work if played well. The second leader that we have is Doflamingo. Doflamingo, bicolor leader, green and purple, although that doesn't matter in a pre-release anyway. 4 life, that's a bicolor leader, and his effect is end of your turn, set up 2 of your down card as active. The condition to play this leader is you have tons of events that you need to play on the opponent's turn as counters. Otherwise, his effect would be too situational to really get useful during a pre-release match. So I would say, like, maybe see about the counters, the event counter that you have in hand, otherwise just don't play it. I cannot recommend it. Even like that, it might be like too situational. This one is gonna be interesting. So green black Isho, 5000 power, 4 life, of course bicolor leader, and we're not really like interested in the Don X1 effect, which is Don X1 during your turn. You can give -1 cost to all of your opponent's character. We're not really like looking for that, because black is gonna look at reducing the cost and KOing stuff or making things happen based on the cost, but it's a pre-release. We're not gonna have that. But at the end of your turn, for 1 done, you can set up one of your character with a cost of 5 or less as active. So that's good protection for your big attacker on the board, or even if you want to attack with one of your blocker, you're afraid you're not going to be able to block next turn. Now you can. So I would say Isho, yeah, sure, play him. It might be worth your while. Next in line, we have the blue-black Rebecca leader, 5000 power, 5 life. That's because just like Vivi, this leader cannot attack. Now this was like very meta during the OP04 meta in Asia, but I don't know if this is gonna be any good in pre-release. And the reason for that is that her effect is based on the Dressrosa type card. So we have activate main once per turn for 1 down. If you have 6 or less cards in hand, look at the top 2 cards of your deck, reveal up to 1 Dressrosa type cards and add it to your hand. After that, place the remaining cards in the trash. And the whole reason why this leader was so effective in the OP04 meta is because of the SR Luffy that's coming in OP04. If you don't know this card, well, basically it's able to do a lot of things the more cards you have in your trash. So obviously you want to put as much cards in your trash as possible just to reinforce that specific character, but if you don't have it during the game, you might not have a chance to play it. Also, we're gonna be on a 40 card deck, so maybe it's not that good of an idea to mill yourself to death. So in the context of a pre-release, I would say avoid playing Rebecca. Next leader, we have another leader that was actually meta during OP04 in Asia region of the game, and it's Queen. 500 power for life. The next one, when attacking, if the total number of cards in your life and hand is 4 or less, draw 1 card. If you have a character with a cost of 8 or more, you may place up to 1 card from the top of your deck on top of your life, instead of drawing 1 card. So as you can guess, the strength of this leader is that when he attacks, you can either draw a card or refresh your life and get a new life back in. Which in the context of a pre-release, if you board control really well, you might be able to trigger this every turn. However, you need a cost 8 or more character on your board, so this is very situational. I would say maybe. Not only that, but you need to have like from your life and hand 4 or less cards. So that means you either have 1 card in hand and 3 life, or you need to have 1 life and 3 cards maximum in hand. So that's really bringing down your defensive option. So I'm really not sure about playing this during a pre-release. And the last leader from OP04 is Crocodile. 5000 power, 4 life. Opponent's turn, once per turn, when you return a Don from your field to the Don deck through one of your effects, add 1 Don from your Don deck as active. So this one, I can say like pretty straight up, this is gonna be situational. If you have a ton of purple card that Don minus when you play them or when you activate their effect, you might have a place for this because you can get a Don back and pretty much always be up when facing your opponent and be able to play cards consistently on every turn. But that is still situational and it's a less than ideal situation. So I'm more tempted to go with a no than a maybe, but it's not gonna be a clear yes. And with that, you should now know which leader you're gonna play during the OP04 pre-release. Remember, we've just talked about OP04 leaders, but there's all the others. So make sure you take that into account when rocking up to your OP04 pre-release. Hopefully I've given you good advice. Let me know in the comments below which leader are you gonna play during your OP04 pre-release. I personally still want to play Katakuri a bit, so I don't know if I'm gonna take him to a pre-release or not. I still don't know also if they're really gonna implement this rainbow leader that they've talked about at some point. Red Zoro is always good, Whitebeard is always good, still Kid from Starter Deck 2 is always good, so those are all very good and solid options that you might consider also for your OP04 pre-release. So let me know all that in the comment section below. I'm very interested to see which leader you guys are gonna pick for your pre-release. But anyway guys, thank you very much for watching, and if you see here, that means the video was at the very least entertaining to you, so please leave a like, or maybe come back after the OP04 pre-release and leave a like if you win thanks to my advice. And most importantly, subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell to never miss anything geek.